Okay, here we have some algebra questions, expanding brackets and factorising. I put it as grade B, GCSE level 8, although the first few, starting really with a grade D level 6, then a grade C level 7, and then we're finishing off with some grade B-ish type of stuff down the bottom here. So let's just start with expanding a single bracket, fairly straightforward. We multiply each term in the bracket by the term on the outside. So we've got x times x, which is x squared. And we have x times 2, which is 2x. And because of the plus, we are adding them. There's going to be 1 mark for each part of that. Expand and simplify the double bracket. A couple of ways of doing this. You can use this sort of foil method, which I like to refer to as a smiley face, because it looks a bit like a smiley face when you draw it. So there's your sort of smile and the eyebrows and stuff. Some people remember it as first, so you multiply the first 2, then the outer 2, then the inner 2, and then the last 2. So that's your foil type method. Or if you prefer a grid type method, we could have x plus 3 and x minus 4, and then multiply these out. So we get x squared minus 4x minus 4 times x, 3x, and 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. I don't know why it's the case, but quite often this last one people seem to add these two instead of multiply. But in this, it's like a multiplication grid. We multiply it all out and then we add it together. So we've got x squared plus 3x minus 4x minus 12. That would get you 1 mark. I think maybe you would get 1 mark if you had 3 of these terms correct, or maybe a sign was incorrect. But you get the second mark for simplifying. So this 3x minus 4x is minus x, so we have x squared minus x minus 12. Factorising completely. Now this is a quadratic, but it's not really a quadratic factorisation because there's only 2 terms. And although this one's 2 terms, because we don't have the term on the number on the end, we can just factorise out a number and a letter from this. So we can factorise out a 2, because 2 goes into 2 and 4, and we can factorise out a y, because y goes into y and y squared. And then think about what you need to multiply 2y to get this. Well, I need to multiply by a y squared. 2y times y is 2y squared. And I've got a minus sign. What am I going to times 2y to get 4y? Well, that's a 2. Sometimes it helps if you write it out in full. So maybe if you write it like this, and then break the 4 down into 2 times y, you can see then that we have a 2 as a factor and a y as a factor. And then what's left is this y and this minus 2. That's what goes in the brackets. Not always easy to see that that's not a double bracket. You could think about this last term as being plus 0, and if that helps to think about it, and you could have a bracket here, make this 2y plus 0, but it's not needed. Okay, the last one, factorising this one. This one can be beneficial to think of this as 0x in the middle and then factorise that, or you might notice this is a square number minus another square number, and the difference of 2 squares tells us that this is x plus 3 and x minus 3. Or you can factorise this out in a normal double bracket method, thinking about what multiplies to give you minus 9, which would be 3 times 3, where 1 is negative, and pretty much that's the only solution, because when you add them you get the 0. So there we have lots of algebra, expanding brackets and factorising.